my second time live in this channel. Because the first time that I went live here, I noticed that wow, many people actually joined, and I never expected that live is really that favorable in this YouTube world. So today I needed to post another video about one of the very important topics when it comes to sending your applications for Swiss universities for PhD. That topic is around the area how you can increase the visibility of yourself, how you can in fact increase the chance that the supervisor, the team, the group see you. You know, this is quite competitive. Lots of people, maybe thousands of people at the same time for one application, they for one position, they send the applications. That's why my last video in which I talked about how I myself applied for a PhD position, I could get that position at the same time what I would recommend you to do when you want to apply for a PhD. And one person asked a very good question, and I decided to in fact record the video, not just to insert that comment, but instead I will go into the detail of how you can increase the visibility. But in this live, I will generally talk about what is a PhD or how it is, in fact, when it comes to PhD in Switzerland. What you can expect from day-to-day job and about the responsibilities. And if you have some questions, I think live is the best place to have some Q&A. So about the topic, I chose the title that let's uh, make it about PhD in Switzerland, but general, because this live wouldn't be that long. So generally speaking, if you want to decide to do your PhD here in Switzerland, what you can expect and what is expected from you. Is it only the research that you have to follow, or there are other duties, responsibilities as well? Okay, I already got one question, or maybe I read it now, or let me read it at the end of this live if my guests do not come and I get the chance. But from here, I would say hi, Mustafa. I'm really happy that you're here and you are studying your master's in Germany. Very nice. I want to do PhD Switzerland. Why not? Yes, you are in the right place. Okay, general requirements. I already have 3 international conferences and working. Should we change what I wanted to talk about in this live to what actually Mustafa asked? Yes, why not? Because this is quite relevant. Okay, before I talk about how the PhDs in Switzerland, which could be for another live, let's stick to Mustafa's topic because that's very important. Okay, let's go for it. So imagine a person like Mustafa, he's doing his master's in Germany, or you are doing your master in any part of the world, because I've done my bachelor and master in my home country, which was non-European, and also in Middle East. So it doesn't matter. Don't bring any limitation to your mind that you have to get your degree from a specific universities. Of course, if you have it from a specific university in Europe, it can make it easier for you, of course, Mustafa, or from some of the good universities in your own country, because you can name it, you can, kind of sell that better. But even if it's not that case, don't worry. Okay, let's stick to it. And now he wants to know what are the important factors that he has to have when he wants to apply for PhD in Switzerland. How, in fact, he will be eligible, I believe, from this question, how he can kind of feel that his situation is appropriate for applying for PhD in Switzerland. Okay, when you want to apply for PhD, you are In fact, being reviewed as a master graduate. If you already have some paper in journals, like peer reviewed journals, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. But that's not something that every master graduate has. And that therefore it doesn't make it like a necessity and requirement that you have to have. So if you don't have it, it's okay. But if you have conference presentations, papers, manuscripts, that's very important. You have to really list it in your CV and resume. At the same time, what is more important for you to have, it doesn't come into such metrics that you definitely have to have a specific paper. It's more important that you know what is the topic for which you are applying and how you can pinpoint the important topics, words, or the area which is in the interest of that position, that team, and you already have not only experience but also interests. For example, when I'm saying experience, again, I don't want you to think that you have to have long term experience, you have to have specific paper or long journey behind you so that you can feel confident. No. In fact, I noticed my personal experience. I noticed that that professor is interested in some specific method which is used in the laboratory. Although that professor was not using that method anymore in his recent papers, but I realized that he is using that in his lectures. And since one of the responsibilities of PhD in Switzerland, I'm talking generally, maybe when it comes to a specific topic, a specific university, you don't have the responsibility of teaching. But for me, I had the responsibility of assisting the professor in the lectures. So I highlighted the fact that I know this method and I, in fact, co lectured. So I could really emphasize that. From another point of view, I also was very interested in one method, but I never worked with it. But I was curious enough during my master's to go and got to know what that method is about. And at the same time, my supervisor for my master's was really well known in that method. So you can imagine, I didn't have myself experience in that method, but my supervisor was known, and myself, I was interested and I already learned that, but didn't work with it. And I highlighted that again in my communications, that because you have done it and also I am interested in it, I really am motivated to get more advanced in this topic. So it helped a lot. So, what I want to tell you is do not limit yourself to things that you can tick and say that now I am good enough, I can apply for PhD in Switzerland. No, it's all about you showing that you know what you are doing in terms of applying for that position, in terms of why that team, why that, in fact, professor, because I don't want to say why that university, because it's more important when you can highlight the professor and the team, the research area, not just the university. Because sometimes when it comes, for example, to the high rank universities, maybe if you just say the university is good, they get a bit scared that maybe it's just because of the name of university you want to come. Of course, everyone know that the name of university is important, but this is more professional if you highlight why you're interested to work with that specific person. And make sure that when you are in contact with someone from the same team or institute, do not go in parallel with two different people at the same time, because maybe they get in contact with each other. Give one of them some time, follow up, and if you do not get any feedback, then start the next one, if you imagine that maybe they are in contact with each other. So yeah, I believe this was very important. This was very important that I could catch the attention of them, that I am the right fit, not only with the experience, but also with the interest, motivation, enthusiasm. So I hope you liked it. Let me see. Oh, that's great. You already have your conference papers. Here you go. You will go and you're good to go. What do you mean by whatever it costs me? Because one of the things that I really enjoyed throughout this experience of doing my PhD in Switzerland was that they didn't want me to pay for my research, and in fact I was being paid. I had contract and I had salary. Of course, when it goes, okay, for example, every semester you have to pay something for in fact matriculation or registering for that semester, which was really pretty not that much. And at the same time, at the end, when you want to defend, you have to pay something like 1,500 franc. But okay, don't get me for the exact number, but it is really nothing when you are going through this journey and you are being paid and you can take care of your financial aspects. So whatever it costs you, I hope that it doesn't mean financially, because um, maybe, except the fact that you have to buy the ticket, the initial investments before you get paid for the first month, you are being paid, you're not paying something financially on your own. Okay, I believe you are already so motivated, and also you're already strong enough. You worked on conferences and going through, conferences, publications. It takes a lot of not only effort by doing the research, but also discipline. And this discipline is like presenting yourself in front of a research group. All the people in that room, they're ready just to hear something and then ask you challenging questions. You've been through all this journey, and I believe you're in a great situation. I hope you can get to what you would like and also you deserve, and whatever is good for you, that will happen for you. And share your questions and comments always with me, because I will be happy to direct my thoughts and videos around that. What can help you through this journey? Because PhD here in Switzerland, I emphasize because I have this experience. Of course, if you do it in other universities, other countries, it could be also beneficial, but I am emphasizing on Switzerland because this is what I can talk about. This really served me because I went through it intentionally, and I preserved my mental health, because it could become really challenging and difficult if you are getting ready for PhD. And but at the same time, it can be really rewarding. So please share your comments, thoughts. What is the thing that I can help with, and you can make this journey as designed, structured, as pleasant and fun as possible. Because when you say that I'm ready to do it, whatever it takes, I don't want the emoji of cry. I want the emoji of yes, let's go. We got this. I'm really happy that I could go through this live. I think that our guest is just there and I have to say bye. But hope to see you very soon. And if you get here and you come here, just drop me a comment or something, because we can meet each other. In fact, this community can be so big and we can help each other in this journey. And when we help each other, this is more meaningful, this is more purposeful, and we can hold each other hands and make a better world. So live strong and live with passion. See you later.